This is going to be a quick video. I've been storing up roulette tickets for nearly a month, since April 20th, and tomorrow is May 20th, the 20th of May, and this has replaced, oh wait, that's not GNX, XNR Gia Roadster. Wasn't this thing sold at Barrett Jackson for probably around this price? No, XNR. Oh, okay. Okay. So what's the deal with this car? Luigi. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try it. Nice. How often is this gonna get used? I don't know. Figure something out. It's weird looking. Looks like a toy. Anything else worth buying? Nope. Not right now. So far, the only hot car that has been in the used car dealer was a Cappuccino. Why don't they ever offer us the touring car Cappuccino? Because, what, GT5 or GT6? That was a badass car. And I don't think there's anything I want to buy. Oh, crap. Alright, so let's get back to the purpose of this video, which is simply going to be opening up roulette tickets. I've been sitting on these things for nearly a month, and it's time to open them before they expire. I've been hanging out on them since April 20th, and tomorrow is May 20th. So let's change cars into some other historical car. Oh, here's the Pantera. Really? It's pretty weak. Did I buy the wrong Pantera? Because this thing sounds weak. What's up with that noise? Alright. The one we just bought. Sure make that much noise. The contact patch is probably like that wide, like a credit card, like the old Corvettes. With the side pipes, you'd think that thing would sound fantastic. Oop. Alright, let's get down to business. Roulette tickets. Let's go to the bottom and do all this 1 stars first. What are we gonna get? 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 Of course. Oh, man. There's strike 1. Crying out loud. Yeah. Congratulations. You've acquired credits. Oh, okay. Now, what are you telling me? Just collect it, man. Just collect it. Gee whiz. It's torture. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. No engines. Okay. So I got suspension for what car? For a Tesla that I don't own. Okay. Okay. No whammy, no whammy, no engines, no engines. Come on. Pennies. Pennies on the floor. I find more change than that in the cushions of the couch, man. That's insulting. Gee whiz. Come on, PD. You guys can do better than that. I had a bunch of days of getting really good tickets. Giant disc brake and chump change. Crying out loud. I can't reach way back there and turn it down. Why do I have to double click? Okay, so there's no more 1 stars. So we go back down to 2 stars. None there. There's 1 there. Of course. Any more? Good grief, man. Gold bars. Ooh, bigger stack of change. 30,000. Okay. No more 2 stars? Nope, no more 2 stars. So now we move on to the 3 stars. drive shaft. Give me the damn drive shaft for a car I don't own, Leah, please. The prop shaft. Yeah, for a boat. Ooh. Give me. Okay, all right. That's nice. That's a good car to have. Cool. Cool. That's a keeper. Nice. Woohoo! And the fanfare. Okay. 3 stars. Come on, man. What a bunch of malarkey. Seriously? Ugh. $5 grand. Alright, I'll take that real money. So what are we on now? 4 stars? Yep. Got an invitation for a Lamborghini. Okay. Which I probably have the Lamborghini already. Damn it. Okay. 4 bars. Take that. $1 million? Nope. 500 grand. Ooh, damn it. Go back to the Viper. Give me the Viper. Big stack of gold bars. Oh, no. Porsche. Which Porsche is that for? Any Porsche? That's a good prize to have. If I can use it. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Ugh. The wheel of disappointment. For crying out loud. Ooh. What's that for? Peugeot, which I do not own. Cats running around like idiots upstairs. Okay, right down. 5 stars. Ooh, I get to buy a Bugatti. Okay. Got 1 month to buy it. Okay. No whammies. Ooh, nice. Got a gold bar. What's that baby worth? 100,000 bucks. Buckaroonies. Buckos. Yep, I'm gonna take that. Sweet. I think basically we paid off the Chrysler GXNR, whatever it is that will never get used in competition. Ooh, that's a good car to have. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's a good one. I'll take that. Thank you very much. RCZ. Garfield, knock it off. Ziggy, behave. Behave, Ziggy. Behave. Ziggy. Ziggy. Behave. Ziggy. Ziggy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, no, come here. Come here. On my lap. Come here. Come here. I need to see you. Come here. Come here, dude. Ziggy, come here. Come here. Come here. Ziggy, come here. Come here, dork. Get up behind there right now. Come here. Ziggy. Go over here. Come here. Come here. Come here, dude. Come here. Ziggy. Ziggy. Moron. Okay, what were we on? 5? Yep. I think that's it for the 5s. We got 3 6-star. I really want to savor these because it's gonna be another month before I get to open tickets again. Gold bars. 500 right now. Okay. Too bad it's not real. That'd be worth millions. Okay. Better not suck. Yes! Woohoo! That's a good one. Ooh, love the paint. Hi, Ziggy. Come here. Come here, Ziggy. Come here, Ziggy. Hey, buddy. Oh, come here, dude. Come here. Come here. Ziggy, come here. Come here. Ziggy. Come here, idiot. Come here, dude. Ziggy. Come here. Ziggy. Hey. Come here. Come here. Hi, Garfield. What you doing over there? Hey, Garfield. Hey, good boy. Hey, Garfield. Too bad you're off camera just a little bit. Laying in the chair watching. Wheel of Misfortune. Or the Wheel of Disappointment. Okay. Dude, you're wasting my time, man. No, come here, idiot. This is Ziggy. Say hi. What are you doing? He's a big kitten. He's a big kitten. Yes, he is. Ziggy's a big kitten. Come here. Oh, go up here. Go up there. Good. Go ahead. Good boy. Good boy, Ziggy. Idiot. You were sitting up there earlier. Okay. We got one more ticket to go. What's it gonna be? $10 million car? Or a pile of coins? Dude. What are we getting, Ziggy? Ooh, we got a car. Alright. What did we get? What did we get, Ziggy? What did we get? What is that car, Ziggy? Looks badass, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Is that a Lexus? Yeah, I think that's a Lexus. No, stay here. Dude, stop it. Quit. 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 Quit, dork. Biggie, behave. Ugh. Behave. Ooh. A special edition paint job on that Lexus? Ooh. Subvision GT. What's the value on that baby? Ah, dude, stop with the nonsense. Gee whiz. Idiot. It's a hybrid. Huh. Really? Now we gotta use that. That's a good prize. So that concludes this month's episode of Wheel of Disappointment or Misfortune. How are you supposed to race this thing? That's my question. I like it. Bring back the LFA. The LFA was a kick-ass car. Nice. 643, so it'll run in 640 races. Racing mediums. Let's see about this thing. Skips movies? What's this? I was looking for this when Kaboom Operator was tooling around one of his cars. I couldn't figure out where he got to that at. I thought it was in Scapes. Gorgeous. Nice. Awesome. The lines on this car are nice. Huh. No, I'm not going to be painting this thing. Now if it had sound also, that'd be pretty cool. imagine on a PlayStation 5 this would look outstanding. Bring back Eiger, Swiss Mountains. There should be dust being kicked up right about now. Okay, so you can't switch. Just gotta go with the flow. Man, look at that diffuser. Going around carousel. Gaslight. Baker Street. Doesn't Sherlock Holmes live on Baker Street? Yeah. I don't know why that is. Hey, get out of there, Ziggy. Knock it off, stupid. Knock it off before you get in trouble. Knock it off. Hey, Garfield. It's a good boy. You be good. Well, just come up here and get my lap, Ziggy. Come here. Come here, Ziggy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Where's he? Come here. Come here, dopey. Moron. Ziggy. Well, come here, dude. Come here. Come here. Come here. Ziggy, come here. here. Idiot. He's dark and the floor is dark and I can't see him right now. Hold the phone. I guess we can't change the wheels at all. Nope. 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 Nothing. Sir. Ziggy, get out from behind there now! Get! Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You won't get hurt. Come here. You won't get wet. Come here, dude. Come here. Ziggy, come here. Dude. Stop being a jerk. Stop being a jerk. All I gotta do is come get in my lap, man. Ugh. Ziggy's a big cat. He's a big cat. Ziggy and his sister Pepper are part Maine Coon. He's a good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. He wants to be. Really, dude? I gotta put my feet up. Come on, man. I don't feel like being planted in this chair all night, man. Can't change wheels. That sucks. Hi, Ziggy. There's a good kitty. Or it's just I can't change the wheels that I own. Hi, Ziggy. Nothing here. Nope. Wait. No. Can't change none of them. Why even offer it then? Just close the section. Just close this damn section if you can't change them. It's stupid. You? Nope, can't change. Nothing. Nope, nothing. Feel kind of gypped. Safe to assume you can't change wheels. Just doing Garfield. Seriously, I gotta save it. Come on, man. Don't you fucking say that shit. Ridiculous. You shouldn't have to save that. It should just be on there. If I want to take it off, just reverse it. Done. Simple. Stupid. That's a nice job. Bang & Olufsen. Oh, he painted the wheels. Yeah. Now I gotta leave it on there, I guess. Yeah, I actually have to go into the other friggin' thing and find it there, which is dumb. Whatever. That's interesting. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. Forget it. Out. So did it store it? What did it do? What the crap is it doing? Okay, that's good. So that's how you save one that you downloaded. Okay, I get it now. I'll go back to the factory. How do I go back to the factory? Let's go take this for a run around the ring. What kind of parts are available for it? We're about to find out. Cars. Power restrictor. Gonna need that. Ballast. Gonna need that. I hate the tabs. I don't know how often I use this car, but you know, it is what it is. The handbrake. The holy hand grenade. If you know, you know. So this is a hybrid, I guess. It's gonna do hybrid-y type stuff, I guess. How long does it take it to charge? Kind of loud, man. What, no interior view? Seriously? 7th gear. Wow, that goes fast. And it's gone. How long will it take for it to recharge? So when you brake, it recharges. It's like a real curve system. The kinetic energy recovery system, KERS. So when you brake, it builds energy back up. I had enough of that. It's nice. I like it. I hate the curve system in it, though. It's terrible. Where does it rank? Ugh. Sparks flying. Alright. Cool. Like it. Glad I have it. And it comes in at number what? There it is, number 7. The Black Series was faster than the damn AMG GT3. Nice. Okay. Moving on. $11.59. What, kitty? Why? Why, Garfield? Garfield? What are you doing? Come here. Garfield? Come here, kitty. Garfield? 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 Garfield. Kitty. Hey, Garfield. Hi, buddy. He loves to rub his face on my feet like every other cat, except he digs his tooth in my foot also. He's goofy. Ow! Garfield, come on, dude. Come play with Ziggy. like it a lot. It's cool. It's fast. Oh, this is gonna be a bitch. and shiny. Exhaust just echoing off of the top of the mountain. Whoa, that was really off-putting. Racing. I know I can do a lot better than that. I suck, that's all. Woo. The brain. Really? Okay. Three-star. Boom. Should we go ahead and open it now? May as well. Or should I have my grandparents' grandfather clock? Oh, my uncle's got it. I don't deserve it anyway, so. $30,000 buckaroonies. Really? Congratulations? It should say, haha, sucker. That's cruel. Damn, man. Why are you doing this to us, PD? Come on, man. We're loyal to you guys. What the fuck? Oh, that's not for the kids. Nice car. That's not a McLaren, dipshit. It's a Renault. What freaking Renault is this? RS01. Yeah. Huh. Touchpad. It's kind of janky. Doesn't look real. Peugeot. Didn't they do an amazing race section there? Pretty sure they did. Wow. So which invitation did they give me? This Bugatti. One thing, shit, it's gone. Okay, so I've got an invitation to my what? Okay, so take me to the invitation in the car. Oh, it is acquired. I do own it. Ha! Three. Four. 10? Applesauce green? What? That's now a shade of yellow that I like. That's silver? Silver anyway, like gray. Like gunmetal. Not silver either. China gray. Silver blonde. Okay. SilverFoxArt.com. Morning Flood. Or Morning Frost, sorry. Why don't just take me to the invitation car? Wouldn't that be, you know, the most appropriate thing to do? And I already have it anyway. What the frick, man? That's stupid. I already own the car, damn it. FIA is still affiliated. Where's Bugatti at? Where's Bugatti? Where's Bugatti? German cars. Where's freaking Bugatti? There it is. Down there. Down there. She-Rod? No, that's not the She-Rod. What the crap? Stupid. No. Still don't want it. I still don't want it. Had it. GT5. Still don't want it. I'd rather have a Panda. I need to give my car a bath. Own it. Four, 5, 8, Group 4. One fucking color. Shut the fuck up. That bitch will get painted yellow in a heartbeat. I like Ferrari yellow. GT5 Pro, we were driving those 430s all the time. It's a fun car. I think I'm going to do a quick run around Tokyo and then that'll be it for the night. To be honest, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'll be right back. What are you putting toys down here for, weirdo? You can't. Good boy, Garfield. There's Garfield over there. Hey, boy. Hey, good boy. Hey, good boy. Okay. Let's go take Tommy for a run. Do his thing. Tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. Busy day.
Russia's the bad guy. It's like, yeah, but you have to factor in everything else that's happening and all the tools are the first trial run of these tools on an international scale. We've seen the trial runs of these tools on a local and domestic scale throughout COVID. And a lot of people didn't think what happened through COVID could happen, particularly in places like the United States or Australia or even the UK. But they did. You know, you expect to see the things that happen here in China. You expect to see it in Russia. You expect to see it in other places around the world. You don't expect to see it here. But it happened here. And now, on an international scale, we are seeing it happen with Russia and Russians. And I've told you before, be very careful with this. This is not good. It's not just about rooting for Ukraine or Russia. It's not what's happening here. They're using all sorts of things to destroy the economy. It's not just sanctions. It's other strategies we talked about before. I don't spend a lot of time on it. It is social ostracization. Still said that wrong. Anyway, it is, you know, making sure that prominent Russians submit or aren't allowed to participate in society outside of Russia. It's all of these things, stupid little things, like such not being able to participate in, you know, annual events honoring trees and stuff like that. It's just dumb stuff to completely remove Russia from society. And I told you, they're gonna do this against everybody else. Once the system is set up, it will be used against whoever they want to use it against, and eventually they're going to come for Western countries too. Right now, Western countries kind of control this, but what happens if suddenly, you know, Europe doesn't like something the United States is doing? They can mobilize the international community against the United States and that sort of stuff. The U.S. is in a more protected position than most because we tend to bankroll these projects. But at the same time, there's always the possibility, and you have to not set yourself up for that. I always tell people, we talk about presidents and some of the, you know, bills that are being proposed in Congress and that sort of thing, but the bills may be intended to do something, but the wording of the bill clearly means that something bad can happen. It may not be the people in power now who will abuse that particular legislation. You have to worry about the people in the future. Will somebody down the line be able to look at this law and interpret it in a way that the courts will uphold that would be abusive? That's the thing you have to factor in. It's not about the current members of Congress who are voting on it. It's not about the current president who would sign it. It's about what would happen in the future if somebody got into office and both sides agree that somebody in the future is going to be tyrannical. The left believes Trump was tyrannical. Okay? The right kind of made that case with Obama. But most people on the right understand that there's still far worse out there. But you have got to look at the future of this stuff. What is the potential for abuse? What is the slippery slope that we're now getting on? And the reason I wanted to kind of bring up the Russian thing is the World Health Organization members are considering shutting down the Europe Hub office in Russia over Ukraine. And this is just a story from the beginning of this month, right? And the reason that I bring this up is, all right, well, we're talking about a World Health Organization pandemic treaty. Russia was a big part of the pandemic. Russia was a big part about developing treatment during the pandemic, by the way. You know, internationally, Russia gave the United States supplies when we didn't have them. And some of those supplies weren't good. We didn't have any supplies, and Russia offered them to us. And that probably shouldn't be ignored. It is being ignored, but it probably shouldn't be ignored. Russia was a big factor, particularly in the eastern portion of the world, in dealing with pandemic response. And now, because of Ukraine, the World Health Organization is like, yeah, we're going to shut down a European hub in Russia because, you know, screw Russia, they're invading Ukraine. Okay? Well, what are the potential ramifications of that in the future where another pandemic breaks out? If Russia's not a part of the, you know, this international pandemic treaty, how does this look? Does the World Health Organization now deny care and some of the advancements and things like that to Russians in the future? I'm just using this as an example. I'm not saying that they will. I'm just using it as an example. Because right now, if you're Russian and you live in Russia, the entire world basically wants you to die. They're pretending you don't exist. Even though most Russians are obviously innocent and a lot of Russians oppose the conflict. But the response of the international community is, you're Russian, you're ostracized, we do not even acknowledge that you live, and we don't care if you live. You're on your own. That is the position of the United States, it's the position of Europe, it's the position of the entire international community right now towards Russians, okay? So what happens, World Health Organization, who's purely supposed to be apolitical, right? They're supposed to be apolitical. They're supposed to be simply dealing with health issues, international, providing help to everybody, providing resources to everybody, accepting information and resources from everybody, and yet, here they are. Yeah, we're not interested in doing business with Russia because of Ukraine. Okay? Well, let's amplify that out. There's a pandemic treaty. What does that look like? What does it look like if other countries do things that the World Health Organization doesn't like? What does it look like if, you know, there's another conflict in the Middle East with the United States and the World Health Organization doesn't like it? What does that look like? You know where I'm going? It's a very dangerous foundation to be setting. Now let's get into this. This is downtoearth.org. I'm not familiar with who these people are. I don't know anything about them. Okay? They appear to be, I think, in India. Accountability, equity. Got that word there. Equity is automatically bad. No matter what it is, equity is bad. Okay? Experts suggest what the WHO's first ever pandemic treaty should encapsulate. Okay? Let's take a look at it. Experts in India and across the globe have made various suggestions as to what the first ever pandemic treaty in the world should consist of, even as the World Health Organization started the first round of public hearings for it on April 12, 2022. These are basically commitments to the treaty. Suggestions range from accountability to more powers, to developing countries, to the insufficiency of the international health regulation to deal with pandemics currently. It was the World Health Assembly that had constituted an intergovernmental negotiating body in December of 2021 to strengthen pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response by drafting a global treaty. The guiding question in the first round of public hearings being conducted now is, what substantive elements do you think should be included in the international instrument on pandemic preparedness and response? Pandemic is highlighted, yada, shortfalls, everything. Okay, they go into the World Health Organization Director, Dr. Tedros, who, by the way, is a war criminal. It has been indicted as a war criminal by the International Court.
Yeah, true.
For the record.
True.
The pandemic has exposed shortcomings in the application and implementation of the IHR that I believe are best addressed with a convention, agreement, or other international instrument. Okay. I wonder if the Convention of States crowd is like super stoked about half of this international convention. I'm curious, genuinely curious. I don't know. Let's see. He added that we have treaties and other international instruments against tobacco, nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons, climate change, and many other threats to our shared security and well-being. The outcome of these public hearings and scores of meetings will only be submitted by 2024 during the 77th World Health Assembly. Okay. All right, they go through some stuff. Not really all that important. Let's get out of that. World Health Assembly agrees to launch a process to develop a historic global accord on pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. This is December 2021. Okay. In a consensus decision aimed at protecting the world.
Oh, come on, you stupid idiot.
Diseases, crises. The World Health Assembly
pay
agreed to kickstart a
attention.
global process to draft and negotiate a convention, agreement, or other international instrument under the Constitution of the World Health Organization to strengthen pandemic prevention, preparedness, and response. See, it's under the Constitution of the World Health Organization, so, you know, it'll basically be like the Convention of States, nothing could possibly go wrong. Dr. Tedros, the director of the WHO, criminal, said the decision by the World Health Assembly was historic in nature, and again, he highlights how, hey, the pandemic is showing a light on many flaws in the global system. Yeah, let's talk about some of those flaws, shall we? Flaw number one. The World Health Organization lied to everybody repeatedly. The World Health Organization, other than China, is primarily responsible for the pandemic. So let's start there, shall we? Everybody forgets this.
Wow.
We learned about COVID December 19th, 2019.
Yep.
It predates December 19th. It goes back to at least October. But we learned about it internationally on December 19th, 2019. It was January 14th of 2020 say this is low risk. Yet we have World Health Organization doctors who have admitted at press conferences that they knew in December of the previous year, while the World Health Organization is telling everybody it can't spread from person to person, World Health Organization doctors were telling us that that wasn't true. In December of the previous year, they knew that the virus was spread through humans. They knew that the risk for a pandemic was very real. So the World Health Organization knowingly and intentionally lied to the world, which allowed the pandemic to spread, which hampered and delayed the response by the international community to protect their populations. That all happened because the World Health Organization lied to everybody. And now the World Health Organization thinks that it should have the power and authority to direct all of these international responses to a pandemic.
No.
Keep in mind that the war criminal, Dr. Tedros, was basically put into power by China. His relationship with China is undeniable. The previous director's relationship to China is undeniable. China has, and this has been long acknowledged, long known, China has a very unhealthy influence over the World Health Organization. Governments have written about this. This is a national security issue. This is well documented in the news media. Everybody understands this is the case. Except for one or two dinguses out there writing for Forbes magazine. This is dangerous. The World Health Organization, one, is incompetent. They are wholly incompetent. They have proven to be corrupt many times. Anybody out there denying that is lying to you. Wholly unqualified to even discuss the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization picked up the phone and called the CDC after the CDC said, hey, COVID is airborne. They picked up the phone, they called the CDC, and they said, take that down from your website because we still want people wearing masks.
Wow.
And the CDC did. Less than 24 hours later, the CDC pulled it down off the website because of the WHO. So throughout the pandemic, the WHO has been coordinating a lot of the lies about COVID and the pandemic that have allowed governments to violate your rights all across the world. Now the World Health Organization wants even more power to be able to do that.
No. So
there is no pandemic treaty right now. And they still basically have run all of the public information on this globally. You couldn't post on social media without it directly coinciding with what WHO was saying. And then when it did coincide with what the WHO was saying, because the WHO did finally admit lockdowns were a bad idea, social media companies would still basically they would disagree with the WHO and just post whatever loud post that they wanted. But it is important that everybody understand, the virus came out of the Wuhan lab. Yeah, the Chinese lied about it. Yeah, the Chinese allowed international flights while not allowing domestic flights to allow this thing to spread. But it was the World Health Organization that helped them do it. The pandemic happened because of the WHO. You need to remember that. So to get into, more of the stuff, you don't need to, whatever. It's not a big deal, okay? It's World Health. That's from the World Health Organization's own website. It's propaganda. All right, let's talk about this. World Health Organization is preparing a vote to strip the U.S. and 194 other nations of sovereignty and control of it. Is that an accurate assessment? Not really. Well, let's dive into it. On May 22nd, the World Health Organization will vote on whether or not to strip 194 countries, including the U.S. of sovereignty. As part of the World Economic Forum's Great Reset goal, the WHO is aiming to alter a treaty that would give them global control.
Down 315.
The World Health Organization, World Health Assembly, will vote on the issue again in 3 days on the 22nd. It'll go through the 28th. Let's see.
Don't wear these gloves.
Who works for the Post,
Post the answer to that. What is John 3:15? Post it in the comments below, please. And we'll get together and I'll have some of these gloves to you.
As to how people live and how they deal with pandemics from lockdown mandates or treatment. Now, that is accurate. What she is saying there is accurate. What's in this article is accurate. There are countries that will certainly basically be ceding their sovereignty all the way over to the WHO. The U.S. will not be one of them, but they will cede a lot of authority to the WHO, and they will basically take a backseat to the WHO. But they did a backseat to the WHO, throughout COVID. So it wouldn't necessarily be a big change. We have something that others don't, and that is a constitution. And yes, there are people out there who are writing articles and saying, hey, this will get around the Constitution, this will change that. No, not really. The Supremacy Clause will prevent that. As long as, and this is the big if, as long as our elected leaders and our courts do the right thing, which I completely understand you not believing they were doing. So, theoretically, the Supremacy Clause protects the United States from sovereignty issues. However, it doesn't protect other countries. And there is a very real concern that domestically, our politicians won't do the right thing, our courts won't do the right thing, and therefore cede that authority illegally and unconstitutionally to the WHO, which I completely understand. But let's just say for a second, because the Supreme Court has ruled on this many times, international treaties do not supersede U.S. law. The Supremacy Clause basically says, look, if you have a treaty that will become the law of the land, but that treaty needs to pass constitutional muster in the United States. If it doesn't, it doesn't apply. It really is that simple, okay? So if a treaty is done, and that treaty violates the constitutional rights of Americans, that treaty is supposed to be null and void.
Exactly.
All right? That's the Supremacy Clause. But again, so I completely understand and accept that there's a lot of you out there like, yeah, I don't think that's a thing anymore. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
But it is.
But for the sake of argument, let's just say it is. One of the things that this treaty would allow is sanctions. What's the international community doing to Russia right now because of sanctions? Do you really want the WHO to have the authority to steer over 190 countries on sanctions for somebody who's not going to
no.
based on this treaty?
Stupid.
So let's just say the U.S. signs the treaty.
Asshole.
Decide, hey, you know what? We're not okay with a China-controlled WHO directing health policy during a crisis because we find out, let's say, in a future pandemic or whatever, that WHO again lied, and we don't want to deal with that anymore. Let's say we actually have a president with some intestinal fortitude. Well, this treaty, as written, okay, would allow the WHO to steer sanctions. And that could mean a lot of stuff. The United States develops most of the vaccines in the world. That could mean all of a sudden we don't have the raw materials to develop those vaccines. We don't have the raw ingredients that are desperately needed to develop those vaccines because some of that stuff has to come from overseas. Start to see where this ends up being a bit of a factor. Now, some people will say, well, we fund the WHO more so than anybody else. That is true.
We shouldn't be.
That is certainly true.
Not
Is
a
that
dime.
buy us some leverage? Maybe. It's possible. So let's go to the World Council for Health. Okay, let's take a look at some of the stuff there. On January 18, 2022, the United States Department of Health and Human Services proposed amendments to the IHR. These amendments give control over the declaration of a public health emergency in any member state to the WHO Director General, even over the objection of a member state. The Director General communicated the text of the proposed amendments on 20 January 2022 via a circular letter to state parties. Okay? So, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services under Biden actually opposed this amendment. So if you've got 194 members, and there is somebody out there who goes, this isn't a public health emergency, guys, stop. The World Health Organization can still declare it, and there's nothing that member state can do about it. The proposed IHR amendments also cede control to WHO regional directors who are given the authority to declare a public health emergency of regional concern. Again, it doesn't matter what the member state says. Moreover, the proposed amendments allow the Director General to ring an international alarm bell by unilaterally issuing an intermediate public health alert. Properly understood, the proposed IHR amendments, again from the Biden administration, are directed towards establishing a globalist architecture of worldwide health surveillance, reporting, and management, consistent with a top-down view of governance. The public will not have opportunities to provide input or criticism concerning these amendments. Okay, which they highlight are violations of democracy and that sort of thing. So here's their summary of some of these amendments here. Increased surveillance under Article 5, the WHO will deploy early warning criteria that will allow it to establish a risk assessment for a member state.
No.
Means that it can use the type of modeling, simulation, and predictions that exaggerated the risk of COVID-19 over 2 years ago. Once the WHO creates its assessment, it will then communicate it to intergovernmental organizations in other member states. Okay? There is a 48-hour deadline under Articles 6, 10, 11, and 13. A member state is given 48 hours to respond to a WHO risk assessment and accept or reject on-site assistance. However, in practice, this timeline can be reduced to hours, forcing it to comply or face international disapproval led by the WHO and potentially the member states, which again,
we're sovereign nation.
Sanctions.
It's not global government, man.
So even if you don't get every member nation to go out there, if the WHO says we want sanctions against the United States or some other country, and China's there going, yeah, 100%, yeah, let's sanction the U.S. They can get some states to do that. There might be other member states who don't, but it's being led by the WHO. Under Article 9, the WHO can rely on undisclosed sources for information leading into declaring a public health emergency. Those sources could include Big Pharma, WHO funders such as the Gates Foundation, the Gates Founded and Funded GAVI Alliance, as well as others seeking to monopolize power. And that's concerning. Anonymous. Why would it have to be anonymous when we're talking about a public health emergency?
Yeah.
Under Article 12, this is the one that has most people really upset. When the WHO receives undisclosed information concerning a reported public health threat in a member state, the Director General may, not must, consult with the WHO Emergency Committee and the member state. However, they can unilaterally declare a potential or actual public health emergency of international concern.
No.
This is something that they will be able to do.
There's no accountability.
On their own.
There's no accountability.
The Director General's authority replaces national sovereign authority.
No.
It will later be used to enforce sanctions on nations.
No.
Sanctions. Under Article 59, after the amendments were adopted by the World Health Assembly, the member state has 6 months to reject them. This means November this year. If the member state fails to act, it will be deemed to have accepted the amendments in full. So this is like one of those, our government loves doing this sort of thing. We'll send something out, and it's like, if you fail to respond, you are accepting the terms of this agreement.
Wrong.
No, I'm not. But that's how they're going to behave. Any rejection or reservation received by the Director General after the expiration of that period shall not have force in effect. Okay. And again, if there are some people who say, no, none of this means anything because, it's a voluntary body, you can just leave, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But again, there's a sanction enforcement here. That's the problem. So there's more to this, and they include the written letter and all of that stuff. This is the World Council for Health. WorldCouncilForHealth.org. Take a look at it. This is the Family Research Council. Okay. Joshua Arnold. Family Research Council, again, religious right group, but just makes sense to listen to everybody here. Wait, the World Health Organization's grabbing power? Yes, they are. Flush off their unprecedented interference during the COVID pandemic. The WHO is acting to ensure that they have even more power next time around. The Biden administration is helping to fast-track it. The Biden administration is reportedly spearheading amendments to the international health regulations that would drastically increase the powers of the executive of the World Health Organization. According to Michael Alexander,
gonna make him president of the world. That's what this shit's gonna do. One stupid fucking treaty, you're gonna make this guy president of the world? A war criminal?
Public health emergency in a member state.
What the fuck is this shit?
Without that state's consent.
How's this going on? How's this happening?
Come in and go, hey, the United States, you have a public health emergency. The United States could be looking around going, what are you talking about?
No, we don't.
But the WHO gets to declare that.
No, they
which
don't.
then sets a whole set of dominoes in motion. The WHO is already tampering with pandemic powers before COVID hit. The definition of a pandemic is no longer tied to mortality figures, according to Alexander. This is true. We've talked about this many times. They've changed pandemic definitions. They've changed vaccine definitions. They've changed all sorts of stuff. But the World Health Organization, again, just as an international body, has been able to control public discourse. And they're the ones who have been the most deceptive. Now, the only figures who matter are those calling the shots. Previously, a pandemic was defined in terms of differences between mortality rates and seasonal flu, which worldwide would mean 250,000 per year. An actual public health emergency meant magnitudes of mortality beyond the annual seasonal flu under the old system. If the WHO tried to declare a pandemic where there wasn't, it was simple to demonstrate their error by pointing to official statistics, but now they can pretty much make pandemic mean whatever they want because, again, they will have unilateral control over declaring a public health emergency. The power to define the terms might give WHO authority equal to any national government, but still, under the current system, if a member state disagrees with the WHO Director General declaring an epidemic in its borders, they can say, we don't agree with you, and the matter comes to an end. Under these new regulations, the Director General can tell the entire world that, for instance, the United States is ignoring a public health warning, which could lead to tremendous international pressure. And yes, imagine if global bureaucrats, unrestrained by the Constitution, wanted a vaccine mandate as badly as Joe Biden and could force our major trading partners to sanction the U.S. until we actually complied with it. That is a plausible scenario under this agreement that we have seen played out in real time in our country anyway. Now it's been kind of directed by local governments. But what happens if the WHO does it? Now, remember when Joe Biden came in and he was telling everybody he wasn't going to mandate a vaccine, but then he told everybody that they were going to mandate vaccines, but he didn't actually do it. Remember that? And then a bunch of employers just started self-enforcing a vaccine mandate, and they were saying, well, Joe Biden said that there was a vaccine mandate. But there never was a vaccine mandate. That didn't come until way later. Remember that? Well, now Joe Biden wouldn't have to do that. One of the reasons that Joe Biden didn't do that, it was unconstitutional. He couldn't. He was going to face a legal battle. Now, Joe Biden can pick up the phone, contact the Director General of the United Nations under this, WHO under this agreement, and say, we need a public health emergency declared because we don't have enough people getting the vaccine. And unilaterally, the Secretary General can declare that in the United States. And the United States, Joe Biden, whoever is president at the time, goes, it's out of our hands, man. WHO declared it, dude. You have to do it. We have an international agreement, so there's nothing we can do. See where things get a little messed up here? They wouldn't be able to force a country to accept its decisions, but they'd be able to use any means of coercion that they could against a country. Such extensive power could dramatically reorient the nation's domestic balance of power. In a country like the United States, where power is divided and carefully balanced among federal and state governments and among their separate branches, the interference of international bodies can only serve to take power away from the people and augment the reach of the national executive. Now, there's some people out there going, it's the United States, won't happen here. Okay, there's some people who are doing that. All right, let's just say that you're right. Let's just say the Supremacy Clause protects us enough. What about everybody else? It doesn't protect Australia. It doesn't protect the UK. It doesn't protect France. It doesn't protect China, Russia, any African nations, Mexico, Canada. It doesn't protect any of them. So what happens? Power to sanction and that sort of stuff can affect us, obviously. We can wield power to get away from that, to get around that, to circumvent that. Maybe. But there's virtually no other country who can do that. So what happens to them? Remember, it's an international agreement. This shouldn't be one of those things, at the risk of sounding like a globalist, this shouldn't be one of those things that you look at this and go, the United States is in a good position to protect ourselves, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. This should be one where you actually look at the rest of the world. And you go, all right, None of them can protect themselves. None of them have a supremacy clause like we do. None of them have a Supreme Court like we do. None of them have a Constitution like we do. They're going to be forced into this as well. You know, and again, when you have people like Joe Biden, when you have people like, you know, your MSNBCs and your CNNs and everything else out there running around and basically promoting WHO propaganda, which is proven to be wrong, you should be very concerned about this. The WHO's international health regulations are, in effect, a treaty, but they were never considered by the Senate. In effect, the president can ratify an international agreement and incorporate it into domestic law. That's what happened when the regulations to begin with. They're trying to run around the House and the Senate. And again, typically, it's got to be approved by the Senate. That doesn't always happen. Let's see. Regulations are just the prelude to what they're really working towards, which is a new WHO treaty. The treaty is really the bomb that they are trying to drop on the world. It would transfer power from domestic governments to the WHO, such that WHO could declare, for instance, the United States has a pandemic, and the United States, well, technically epidemic, would have to put up with that. Such a treaty could also be ratified by 2/3 of the Senate and agreed to by the president. But if recent experience is any guide, WHO's leadership is worse than useless in a crisis. They began the COVID pandemic by giving cover to the Chinese Communist Party and then sitting on their hands. All true. All very true. Like I said, you could argue that the WHO is probably more responsible for the pandemic than even China is. You can make that argument. It's 1A.
Wow.
That's the truth. You know, it's, where is this? That's not the one I was looking for. Get into stories like this, okay?
Damn it.
Don't think for a second the WHO won't have influence on this stuff either. One of the reasons that you weren't able to get accurate information in the news media is because, well, the news media was being paid by the government to promote what the government told you to promote. Told them to promote, I should say. They then fired journalists. They pressured media outlets to fire journalists that didn't toe the line. That's why there's so many independent journalists now. A lot of them got fired for just simply reporting the truth. What happens if there's an international agreement here? How bad does this get if there's an international agreement and the WHO gets to declare all this stuff? That's something that you have to consider. I'm sure that this is going to come up even more, you know, at Pass the Mic. I don't know if you have any questions right now. I got a little bit. But this is something that, you know, you need to pay attention to. Like I said, we have a supremacy clause that can shield us. We wield economic and military power that can help us. But at the same time, you have to look at this and you go, well, China basically controls the World Health Organization. They have for a long time under multiple administrations. Do we really want to give the World Health Organization, who ran interference for China during the COVID pandemic, has repeatedly lied to all of you during the COVID pandemic, do we really want them to have this much power? That becomes the rub. And they're trying to get this done before the midterms. They want this done before the midterms because they know that Republicans are getting ready to take back the House in big numbers and probably the Senate. And if that happens, getting a normal international treaty, which is approved by 2/3 of the Senate, done is going to be a very difficult thing to do. So they want to get this done as fast as possible. You know, this is not as much time as I need to dedicate to this, and I apologize. I was planning on getting here a lot earlier. Unfortunately, the hair appointment thing got pushed back, and you know, I needed to get that done because I have a public appearance tomorrow. But you know, again, this is where the 2/3 of the Senate, yeah, and if you're to do the Senate situation, you know, 2/3 of the Senate right now still would go along, which is why they're trying to get around it. That's why we highlighted a little bit earlier. It's, you know, they've done it previously. They're going to do their best to get around the Senate right now, but it'll be a virtually impossible task now. I will say this though: it may not be as impossible as you think. There's a lot of rhinos on the Senate side.
The T500 just didn't look right.
That you all seem to understand. Rhinos don't actually exist. They're not a real thing. But there's a lot of Republicans who are pretty soft in the Senate.
Well,
a lot of those Republicans might very well go along with, yeah, we need coordinated international response. You know, the other thing that came up when I was looking at this earlier, I want to make sure I mention this before I leave and go to the radio show, is that they're really concerned about vaccine supply. So think of it this way. The United States develops vaccines. Remember, Donald Trump was like, we're going to keep most of the vaccines for Americans. Hey, we made it. We're going to take care of our people first. The international community pitched a fit, right? Who else pitched a fit? The WHO. WHO pitched a fit. You shouldn't be hoarding the vaccine that you created and keeping it for your own people. You should give it to everybody else. And Trump's like, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll give it to everybody else. We'll get to it. Got to take care of our own first. Well, the international community doesn't want that to happen. So they want any vaccine that's developed to go to the WHO to be distributed equally among everybody else. Which, again, if you're not developing vaccines, sounds really good. But if you're the country that develops the vaccine, you're the one that put all of the money and the effort and the research and the sweat into it, you want to reap the rewards from that. If you're some third world hellhole who doesn't actually develop anything, then yeah, that's a great thing for you, but it's not a good thing for anybody who actually produces anything. It's a form of socialism. You know, the producers lose access to the product they produce and that sort of stuff. So, you know, again, just, I mean, what about proprietary rights for you know, these pharmaceutical companies? Those are all things that have to be factored into this. So this is a dumpster fire waiting to happen. Anything involving the UN and anything involving the WHO by proxy is an absolute dumpster fire. I haven't eaten yet, so I haven't eaten yet. I've only got half a cup of coffee. I mean, I need to get my energy drink for the radio show here. But and honestly, I know we've only spent how long have we been doing this? We only spent 40 minutes on this, guys. I know. I'm sorry. It doesn't even feel like 40 minutes. It feels like it's been 5. I wanted to get here at like 11 o'clock and do this thing because I knew I needed a lot of time. So we're probably gonna have to go over various things over the next several days. Certainly when they start meeting on the 22nd, we're gonna have a lot of these stories here and on the radio show itself. So, you know, this is not good. There's very little about this that is positive. This is, once again, the international community where a bunch of totalitarians and dictators and third world hellholes who don't produce anything are desperately trying to take the gold, the coin, the resources, the efforts, and the productivity of those who do produce and distribute it equally amongst everybody else. So for them, it's a great deal. For us, super bad deal. Now, can we get out of it? Yeah, sure, we can get out of it. If we sign this thing, we can get out of it.
Shit, okay.
You know, even Bill Clinton had a moment of clarity and didn't sign Kyoto. So there's always hope, right? There's always hope. But the other thing is, if, you know, you do sign on to this treaty, yeah, you can get out of it, but what does that look like once this treaty is all finalized and they start considering these amendments and everything else? That becomes the big rub. And we're talking about sanctions and things of that nature. And, you know, does the United States have the clout to get around those things? Probably. Like I said, probably. The United States is in a position to get around a lot of this stuff. However, nobody else is. And that is the real scary stuff. And if nobody else can get around it, you know, will they apply pressure to the United States to not get around it because they don't want to be the ones that are stuck with everything? It's another thing that has to be considered here. There's nothing about this is positive. There's nothing about this that's good. At the end of the day, if I can break it down without getting into the semantics of the deal itself, why would you ever give this authority to the World Health Organization, who is basically bought and paid for by China, has a history of corruption, has massive issues with that in its own organization, is largely inefficient and unable to do what its mission statement is? Of course, they will argue we need a treaty like this to be able to do it. The costs that go with the bill, okay? But at the end of the day, this is the World Health Organization that lied to you for months and then continued to lie to you throughout the pandemic. Why would you ever want to give them the authority to control international pandemic response if they're the ones largely responsible for the COVID pandemic? Why would you ever do that?
Because we're stupid.
Currently run by somebody who's a war criminal. throwing that out there. All right, I've got to get down to the studio. I may try and grill up a steak here. So I'm gonna eat before I go on the air. Gonna try and do that, but hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I really wish I could have spent more time on this. I'm sorry, just wasn't able to. But at least we got you some information about it, and we'll continue to cover this as the whole process is ongoing. Okay, we'll do our best to keep you informed about it.
Crap.
Other than that, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. We'd love to have you aboard. Hit that join button right there, the red button for locals. Hang out on locals. And I'm going to see you at 3 o'clock Eastern Time for the radio show on 95.3 MNC. Don't forget, Pass the Mic tomorrow. Again, it's 12 noon at Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill. We do not live stream that. Okay, we can't do that. We're in a public place. Occasionally, it gets recorded and we upload it for premium subscribers. But sometimes it doesn't get recorded, so I can't make you a promise that that'll happen. Okay, usually it's an audio recording. But that'll be at Pass the Mic tomorrow, 12 noon to 1:30 Eastern Time, Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill.
Is that the logo? It looks like it is. Is it? No way. Damn it. Suck. Ah, shit. Really? Damn it. That's what I want, man. I want to download that. Go where I want you to go, damn it. Oh my gosh. Come on, man. Where's the fucking thing? What the fuck is it?
Everybody, good afternoon for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, and for those of you who missed the early show, it is shorter than it needed to be, but I hope there was good information in it at least. We're getting ready to go live here in just a minute.
Damn it, where's the fucking decal at? Son of a bitch. Fuck.
Alright, here we go.
Just reset the fucking thing.
Restrictions apply. New Comcast
Reset it to the original position. That's what the fuck I want you to do. Reset it to the original position.
Security Edge available for additional charge. Most innovative based on American Business 2021 Gold Stevie Award.
From the Final Phase Electric Studios, from the first step to the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. Casey Hendrickson.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Do want to thank you for tuning in. Also want to thank R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. Find them online at rbcarcompany.com. Go to 953mnc.com. A newly discovered search warrant is providing some more details about the Delphi murders. The warrant is from March of 2017.
Wow.
It's about a month after the girls went missing. It asked a judge for permission to search Ronald Logan's land. The girls were found on Logan's property And investigators in the warrant said that they believe that he killed the two. The warrant also states that Williams and Jermaine's bodies were moved and staged, and that one of the girls is missing 2 pieces of clothing, likely a souvenir that were taken back by the killer. And again, this happened in 2020. Logan died back in 2020. It's you know, again, this is, it's hard to believe that this is 5 years old.
Yep.
It's like 5 years old plus 2 months. Just staggering to believe that this has been going on this long, because it feels like it was just yesterday when it happened. But you know, again, Logan was suspected by authorities. They wanted to search his land. He passed away a couple of years ago. We still don't know specifically if he's the one that actually killed them, but they believed that. So again, just little pieces keep coming out, and it's weird. We went this length of time without any new information, and now all of a sudden, like, we seem to be getting sprinkles of new information about this case every couple of months or so. And you know, I hope we can get some closure for their families. I really, truly do. We want to put this one to bed, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't appear that there's going to be any justice served. If Logan is in fact the person that did it, it doesn't appear there's going to be justice. All right, we got to talk about the CDC. They are investigating 180 cases now of children with hepatitis of the liver, and they're still pretending that this is unknown causes, the cause of the Pfizer vaccine. And I can definitively say that because there's not one but 2 peer-reviewed studies in 2021 that say it was the Pfizer vaccine that caused this. There was another study that was in October of 2021 that said, yeah, it's plausible, but they didn't specifically look at the cause of hepatitis of the liver in COVID patients. One of those studies examined older people. The other one specifically examined children. And the surge in cases of hepatitis happened right after they opened up the vaccine to 5 to 15-year-olds. Was it 5 to 15? 5 to 18? 5 to 18? I don't remember. Whatever. 5-year-olds. That's when it happened. So the CDC is now investigating 180 cases of children with hepatitis of unknown cause, although health experts in the UK say that the cause is likely kids having weakened immune systems due to the lockdown. So this is the other thing. Now, for the record, I'm not saying that the UK is wrong. It's entirely possible. But the UK government came out and they said, we think it's the lockdowns that caused it. You saw American media kind of run with that and saying, hey, weakened immune systems from the lockdowns, yada, yada. Okay, there's still a study from July of 2021 on the NIH website right now. There's still a study from December of 2021 on the NIH's website right now that says it's specifically the Pfizer vaccine, dose number 2. That's the thing. It's not, we think there could be a connection. It is. The only logical connection is the vaccine. And both of those studies specifically named Pfizer. They didn't name any of the other ones. And considering the surge in these cases happened in the U.S. right after the vaccine was opened up to young children, and if you look internationally, as the World Health Organization has been examining this all over the world, it seems to coincide with those you know, adding children to the those who can be vaccinated list and whatever you call it, opening up to the kids, I guess. So now, what I find so interesting about this is that there might be some people out there, Casey, okay, Casey, yeah, there's 2 peer-reviewed studies on that, but we still don't know, you know, it's a specific strain and that sort of thing. Okay, maybe, except the study in July specifically named the cold virus, the exact strain of the common cold that is being exploited by the immune system here. Now, is it possible that the vaccine is weakening the immune system on this one strain, and in addition to that, the lockdowns have further weakened the immune system to allow this one particular strain to exploit this weakness? Yeah, certainly. It's possible that the UK is correct in their assessment of this. And it's also possible that these 2 studies that you can find on the government's own website right now are also correct. And if we don't at least acknowledge the possibility, you're not going to get to the bottom of it. So this is just another example of, once again, you got the media and health officials running around and pretending that this isn't true. I got suspended 2 times on Facebook for the exact same post where I linked directly to the NIH on this. YouTube took down an entire video dedicated to this, and all I did was link back while you watched me do it to the NIH website where I showed you these studies. Now, if you want to take the position that these studies are wrong, okay, that's a position that you can take. But there isn't any other research that says that these studies are wrong. There isn't any research that would suggest that these studies are not at least providing a plausible explanation for what is happening all over the country and in the United States right now with hepatitis infections of the liver. But you can make the case. That's certainly fine for you to do. But you're going to have to point me in another direction. And I'm sorry, it's too much of a coinkydink that you have the exact same strain of common cold that they found exploited the immune system back in 2021 is what we're all talking about right now. I find that to be an amazing coincidence. Anybody who is thinking about this from a logical perspective would have to find that to be an amazing coincidence too. So if the research in July of last year, if the research in December of last year, and the further research that says that research was plausible back in October, if you want to say that that's not accurate, okay, but how do you explain one of those studies specifically finding the exact same strain of common cold causing the hepatitis infection that we are now talking about today? If that study's wrong, how is it that it is called every single variable for this latest outbreak of hepatitis? Doesn't make any sense. So the infection is being investigated as being a possible cause, with nearly half of the kids testing positive for the pathogen, according to the CNBC. The adenovirus is a common virus that normally causes cold or flu-like symptoms. And again, that is the specific strain that was exploited in the studies last year. It is not a known cause of hepatitis or otherwise healthy children. And it's not. I said it's common. It's usually, basically cold. That's typically what we get with this thing.
I can go back.
Except last year in July, they found that it caused hepatitis in the liver. This is the exact same virus. That is the same one right now that is causing hepatitis in the liver. And it's not normal for it to do that, which means something had to have happened to allow it to do that. And we've got two plausible explanations now. One, lockdowns. The other one, two studies linking it directly to Pfizer's vaccine. I don't know if Moderna causes this. We don't seem to have any evidence that Moderna might be responsible. We don't have any evidence of Johnson & Johnson being responsible. This all appears to be tied specifically to Pfizer because there isn't any research that says otherwise. So the two that we have say it's Pfizer. We don't have a study that says it's also possible with the other ones. And we don't have a study that says it's exclusive to Pfizer either. But we only have two studies that focus on Pfizer. And those studies were only conducted because of this very weird scenario where you had this particular virus, which just causes the cold, now somehow causing a hepatitis infection. And for the record, having hepatitis infections and things like that after a vaccine is not uncommon. It's a very common side effect when you look at the history of vaccines. It's just this specific adenovirus using a weakened immune system to cause hepatitis in the liver. That's something that's unusual. But they still totally have no idea what's causing it. In spite of, there's at least some published research that's peer-reviewed that seems to suggest that there is a reason.
Ding.
You have more coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's News Channel.
Casey Hendrickson. HQ. I gotta post my steak pictures. You all guys, I did. I made a steak when I came down. Told you I was gonna make a steak when I came down here. Early show. And it was good. It was yummy. Thursday.
Meat.
May 19th.
Beef.
Now one. Oh yeah, dude, it stank up the studio good. I don't know that we have any vegans.
Steak doesn't
right
stink,
now.
man.
Amelia's vegetarian. She's not vegan, but she's not in here this late. I think everybody else is pro meat.
I can't live without the meat.
Yeah, she's just from a young age she was she didn't like the idea of killing animals, so
Really?
just how that developed.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
And now she doesn't find the smell of it pleasant, so
That's your turn signals? Like crap! Wow. That's big and bold and
she'll
bright.
eat meat when she's pregnant. It comes for every pregnant vegan and vegetarian. She does eat eggs and stuff though, so I mean, she's not insane at least.
She's vegan, and she's just a vegetarian.
Yeah, I keep saying vegan, but she's a vegetarian.
I could maybe live being vegetarian, but I like cheese too much to be vegan. You know?
Yeah.
I like my cheese and eggs too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Veganism is a fucking cult.
No, I don't think I could live being vegetarian either. So.
Like I said, man, they gotta lie to you and make you believe that eating their fake meat tastes like real meat. It don't taste like real meat, guys. Doesn't matter how much you pay somebody, Burger King, to be on TV. It doesn't taste like a real Whopper. God, it feels good not having hippie hair. Feels good not having hippie hair.
Alright, you're after this ad.
That's not the real rear wing. What was that crap? That's not what it's supposed to be. Man. Damn it, I gotta move it to the
Hey, good afternoon.
top
Thank you
for
for
that
tuning in.
one.
Casey Anderson here. I got to tell you about Nutrition HQ. So if you go to Nutrition HQ, they have, first of all, they got a website, nhqsb.com, nhqsb.com. Use promo code KC20, you get a discount. They're on the website for all the products that are on the website.
Okay, I gotta go bed. Tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. And
so I recommend you just visit their store, 5804 Great Road.
thanks for watching.
They're next to Best Buy.
If you like what you're watching, subscribe. Even if you don't like what you're watching, subscribe. Please like and comment and share and all that fun stuff. And I promise you I'll get better. I've had my channel for years. Just now I'm starting to take it more seriously.
The Alpha Pack, which is what I've been using. The Alpha Pack again increases your free testosterone. Fantastic stack.
Need for Speed Shift make it really easy to share clips.
Go to Nutrition HQ. Again, mention me. You get a discount right there in the store.
I gotta figure out how to do that in here.
5804 Great Road in Mishawaka or online at nhqsb.com.
But I shall return tomorrow, and you have a great night. Later.
So this is the Michiana's Morning News. Going to talk about all the things you can do this weekend in Michiana, include Pass the Mic tomorrow afternoon at noon. High noon, Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill. I know it's technically not the weekend, but still, I mean, you know, we're going to hang out, we're going to eat tacos, we're going to have some beverages, we're going to talk about some stuff, and I don't Did anybody post, like, potential topics? I don't know. I might have missed it. I got to go back to yesterday's live stream. I asked you to post potential topics. The one thing that keeps coming up routinely is the World Health Organization pandemic treaty. We did the early show on that a little bit today. If you wanted to go ahead and get some information about that, we can talk about that tomorrow, past the mic. But we'll be there at high noon tomorrow. Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill in Mishawaka will be upstairs. We take over the entire upper floor. So come on out and hang out with us. Okay. Once again, latest data is out. The CDC shows that fully vaccinated kids have higher COVID infection rates than unvaccinated kids. We're seeing this in adults, we're seeing this in kids, we're seeing this in multiple countries. The data is consistent now. And everybody that I seem to know who has a confirmed, okay, this is important, confirmed case of COVID for a second or more time, they're vaccinated, every single one. I did have one person, I think, when I posted about this on social media, say that they had 2 confirmed cases and they're unvaccinated. But it's extremely rare. Most of the people who get reinfected tend to have the vaccine and boosters and things like that in them.
I'm going to move
and
that.
Considering the reports that are coming out about weakened immune system and that sort of stuff, it's interesting. And again, there's a window, too, that you have to factor into that. So it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world to talk about. But